Welcome to Not the Retirement Show. I'm Robin.
And I'm Bill.
Today we are talking about goal setting for what I'm going to call the Golden Girls. You know, C.S. Lewis said, "You're never too old to dream a new dream." But I wonder if there are some older women who really are struggling to embrace this idea. You know, the family is raised, the grandchildren are even now in high school or, heaven forbid, gone off to college. And sometimes they're sitting around the house wondering, what do I do now?
Well, I think that's where YouTube and Netflix is said to come into play. I mean, I think that's the entertainment these days, which is, when you think about it, I mean, if you turn the clock back 20, 30, 40, 50 years or something like that, the grandmother who was in that type of situation back then didn't have things like social media or YouTubes or videos, etc., like this one, to watch. What did they do?
But if you're sitting alone in the living room with the cat, let's be real, how much Netflix can you really watch? You really do need to think about, how are you going to get out of the house, be around other people, stimulate your mind, and make a life for yourself. Just because you're older, really in this day and age, because of advances in healthcare, it does not mean that your life is over. You might have another 10, heaven forbid, 20 years to go.
I think the word, though, is not so much creating a life for yourself, but I think it's goal setting, and I think that's what you're talking about. Is that if you set goals for yourself, and I mean, there are so many goals in everyone's lifestyle that you can set. Obviously, you want them to be comfortable. You don't want to be stressing yourself out. If you want to go exercise, for example, that's wonderful. Yeah. But, if you're going to go exercise, whether that's walking in the park or stuff like that, make sure that you say, okay, I'm going to do that once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week, or walk around the shopping mall, or, things like that. But that's the goal. You set the goal. There is an achievement factor that once you've done it, but also things like education, learning new things, learning a new language, perhaps. Unlike some of us who struggle with their existing one, but that's okay. So, I mean, there are any number of goals that can be thought through, thought up, and followed through.
And these are things that you don't have to have either a lot of money or a lot of mobility in order to take advantage of. I mean, we've been talking about the challenges of watching too much social media, but think about all the ways it can actually enrich your life. How many things are there that you always wished that you'd had the opportunity to do during the course of your life? Things that you wanted to learn how to do, recipes that you wanted to try. Did you wish that you had more education? You can do all of these things online now. There's absolutely no excuse for sitting there and thinking to yourself, oh, the day is so long and I'm so alone, when you can actually be expanding your mind absolutely every single day.
Well, I mean, I think, go write a book, go write some poetry, go and, I don't know, write some music or something. As I said, learn a language. Those are things that literally can be done, from your own couch. I'm not suggesting that you should sit on the couch all day like some folks do with YouTubes and stuff like that. I'm not suggesting that, because you do want to get up and get moving around. And I don't really think that, once a week going to the grocery store constitutes exercise. I mean, for some folks it might.
Well, that certainly qualifies as an outing at the very least. But we started off this video by talking about goal setting, and goal setting for the appropriate phase of your life. Let me give you an example. If you are struggling because your older teenage grandchildren are going away to college, and you're wondering, why you need to take the trouble to maintain your health, to maintain your independence, to keep on living, think about how wonderful it would be to see those grandchildren graduate from university. You know, what an honor, what a privilege it would see them taking their steps to a life beyond university, to be living independently. See what it would be like to think about living long enough to meet your first great-grandchild, to watch one of your grandchildren get married. These are goals that you could set for yourself to inspire you to maintain yourself and live independently.
But I think, you know, some of those issues that you're talking about are what, perhaps rightly or wrongly, I would perhaps call homely type of issues. But I think that nowadays, you know, the world of knowledge, the world of information, of education. I mean, go back to college. Why don't you just go back to college?
You could even do it online.
Well, you can do it online. I mean, it's not because you're going to, you know, in your 60s or 70s or 80s going to go and find a job because you've just managed to, you know, qualify as something through college, but it gives you tremendous, you know, personal satisfaction. And because it grades along, in other words, you know, there's always a goal for next week and so on and so forth, that kind of thing. So leaving aside, as I call it, the kind of homely type of issues, you know, the world is a wonderfully open place where you can look at different, you know, travel. Maybe you want to travel more. Maybe you want to go see places. You know, I mean, is that a goal? I mean, if you want to go cruising, it's not my kind of thing, you know, but whatever. I mean, if you want to go cruising, great, go cruising.
Well, Bill isn't going cruising, but the world is your oyster. We've all heard that expression. So make sure that you're getting up every morning and making the most of every day. And we'll chat with you again soon.